Hi, I'm Reverend Nina Rowe, founder of AngelsTeach.com, and welcome to AngelsTeach TV and another episode of Weekly Messages from Your Angels for the week of June 20th through 26th. Last week we had a focus on paying attention to our thoughts and what we are manifesting, looking and finding community that will help you in your spiritual endeavors and really support you as you grow into your best self. And then our last focus for last week was about understanding that everything that we need to know comes from within us, and everything that we need to know we have access to at all times. So this week we are going to be using Tony Carmen Salerno's Universal Wisdom deck. And I'd like to take a moment to thank Tony for such amazing artwork and cards and inspiration. I just love working with these tools, and they really do help us connect with the angels in a really complete way, is the word that comes to mind. So blessings and thank you. All right. So again, using my clairsentient sense to help me sense which cards need to come forward for this week. And the first card we have is Lady of the Rose. One of my favorites, actually. Next we have Compassion. And finally we have Autumn Leaves. The first thing that is striking me about these cards is the feminine, the sacred feminine. This is a week when the days are longest here in the northern hemisphere and when the light is strongest. And what I'm noticing, especially from the Lady of the Rose and the Compassion cards, are this sense of the return of the divine feminine. We've been in a period of time where the masculine energy has really ruled the planet in a fairly dominant way. And it's really about returning to a balance where the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine are in more harmony. So we're going to take a look first at the Lady of the Rose card. And synchronous, isn't it, that I have pink roses for this week, isn't it? So Lady of the Rose, there's a bit of sadness. That's what I'm feeling with my clairsentient sense. The first thing I'm noticing is a sense of a little bit of sadness, and yet I'm hearing perseverance, that there's a pushing through. You can see that she is almost pushing through this veil, these colors of the pink and the yellow and the blue. She's emerging, she's pushing through that and really coming into her own and using the energy of this time of year when the light is strongest, again for those of us in the northern hemisphere, and leveraging that is the word that comes to mind. Leveraging the energies that are so natural this time of year to come forth, to bloom, to blossom. And look at that beautiful rose that she has, and she is blossomed. And as she starts to see that, she becomes that. So kind of playing off of the theme of last week and our intentions, and as we start to believe that of ourselves, that's what we become, that's what we are. Looking at the Compassion card, the first thing that I notice is the sacred cross within this card. It is beautiful, and this just almost a cosmic boom coming out from the center. It's like this light is just exploding, and so appropriate for this time of year, and it's really becoming almost three-dimensional for me. And this light is literally exploding off of the card, and again supported by the energies of the universe at this time. And also the energies of this time of year. It's all about this shift of ages that we talk about with the coming of 2012, as well as this time of year, and just all of these things coming together to support this explosion of light that so many of us are working on to help support and to create. Drawn also to the blues. There's an orderliness, or rather said an order, to the blues that are in this card right now. And the order is about recognizing that as our emotions are processed, as we go through the purification we've been talking about for a couple of weeks now, that there becomes a sense of order with our emotions. There becomes a sense of, oh, okay, that's anger. I know what to do with that. Or, oh, okay. okay, there's frustration. I know what to do with that. So there becomes this sense of ability on a greater level to manage our emotions, and as we do so, to use them constructively and to come from that place of compassion, which is so much about this card. Looking at the autumn leaves card, again, beautiful symmetry between the first card and this card with that blossom just coming forth. There are more layers in the flower that I'm seeing in the autumn leaves card. There's more complexity is what I'm hearing. She's emerged. So the message that I'm getting from this week's spread is that there's this push forward, she's blossomed, she's emerged, and then there's a little bit of hesitation, there's a little bit of pulling back, and that's okay. The message from the angels is that that's okay. It's natural to come forth, take 2 steps forward, and then take maybe a teeny tiny half a step back. Because as we push forward, we realize, whoa, we expand beyond our comfort zones, we expand and understand ourselves at a deeper level, and then we realize, you know what, I can't sustain this being out of the comfort zone quite so much. I'm going to pull back a little bit. And that provides the support, the foundation really, to support your next level of growth, your next spurt, and pushing outside of the comfort zone. So recognizing as you push out, it's okay to pull back a little bit. You certainly don't want to go back to where you were, and you won't, because the energy is very supportive of staying further ahead on your path. Just recognize and be forgiving of yourself if you have a little bit of a pullback period. So just tuning into what else. I'm also noticing her hair in the autumn leaves, and I'm hearing wispiness, that there's a playfulness, that there's a sense of frivolity, that this is a time of year that's really good to play. And it feels to me like an invitation to do that, to let your hair down, to let it just all go with the flow, and to just have fun, and to take time to do that, especially as we enter into the holiday season. All right, so tuning in for one last message here. And what I'm hearing is that we are good to go. So I'm sure that you will find additional messages in these cards for you, and I certainly invite you to do that. And that's it for this week's episode of Weekly Messages from Your Angels. I'm Reverend Nina Rowe, and thank you for joining me here this week. See you again next time. Blessings of love to you. Be well.